Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mystery Meat Show. Today is episode 4 of Breaking Bluesky, when I just get deep into the liberal app, the liberal platform, that is just immensely popular, very well received throughout the country, and we're exposing the insanity of the left. And it's all in a one target-rich environment, but by God, is it stale. Today's episode is brought to you by Wang Sauce. They, wow. Yeah, it's, they do mayonnaise, I guess. So you could put some Wang on that thing. They also say it's, cereal. You can use it as cereal if you don't have running low on milk. Sandwiches, bagels, all the above. So go pick up some Wang sauce at your nearest 7-Eleven. Wang sauce. Yum. I really gotta find some better sponsors here. Anyways. Oh my. The Planned Parenthood. One of the most diabolical, evil, satanic organizations that you, the taxpayer, get to fund to the tune of $700 million a year. Most people don't know because they're dumb. Apparatchiks of the left unknowingly do the deeds, the devil's work. Planned Parenthood, over 100 years old now, originally started off as a reproductive care. Margaret Sanger, devout, racist, notoriously supported the KKK. Very big on women's rights, advocated for reproductive care for especially the poor. Also, of course, she supported eugenics. Wanted to use birth control. She was famous for saying she wanted to use birth control to prevent unfit people from reproducing. Interesting. She was very tactical, very strategic in her approach not to associate birth control to racial extermination. Even though in places like New York, you might see upwards of 150, 160,000 abortions performed a year. So she's also stated things like birth control can ultimately lead to a cleaner race. This is all historically annotated, very well documented. Give credit where credit's due. They do not only perform abortions, they do other things for women, x-rays, PAPs, birth control, condoms, others, and for all intents and purposes, they can do good work, but a majority of their work is abortions, which is just diabolical. I'm focusing more on what California's part in all this, Planned Parenthood's part in abortions in California. So, just an unbelievable amount of abortions a year. 700,000 abortions are performed a year. That's nearly 2,000 a day. That number's by the CDC. Guttmacher, another institute, reports just over 1,032,000 in 2023, with Planned Parenthood performing 30 to 40% of all those abortions. And again, this is all, a majority of this is taxpayer funded. California saw nearly 180,000 abortions a year. And that's 700,000, that was throughout the country. California donated roughly a third of that, just under a third, with 180,000 abortions a year. In 2020, 1,500 abortions were performed in the third trimester. So that's when you can't poison the child. That's when you can't vacuum out the fetus. You have to go in there and physically chop off the child's limbs. Third trimester. So just beyond disgusting. This is the devil's work. And again, taxpayer funded. You're paying for nearly 2/3 of abortion in 2020 were covered by Medi-Cal. And then, unfortunately, I tried finding statistics on undocumented immigrants. Kind of hard to find. Couldn't find any real comprehensive numbers that I would feel comfortable putting out. But 1,500 abortions in California were the third trimester. Racial breakdown was roughly 1/3 of white women, 1/3 Hispanic, and the rest were unknown, Asian, Hispanic, Asian, Pacific Islander. So, roughly $70 million was spent across 2 years to perform abortion, to support abortion infrastructure, access, buildings, energy bills, power, all that. Medi-Cal roughly pays $70-90 million to fund abortion, which is just an unbelievable amount of money to go towards it's like a slaughterhouse. Planned Parenthood should be Tyson Chicken of abortions. It's unbelievable. It's truly disgusting. It's truly sad. Racial component to this is, let's see, pretty grim as well. This is the Charlotte Lozier Institute. Non-Hispanic blacks in 2021 in New York, 52% of all pregnancies ended in live birth. 1 in 2, so 50% of pregnancies were failures, resulting in the death of a child. It's truly horrifying, truly, and I think it's a hallmark. It's a canary in the coal mine of where we're at as a culture today. The Democrats, the insane nutcases on the left, like the AOCs, the Majority Report, Vanguard, they love this. Whether or not they know that a majority of these abortions were performed on black women, in New York specifically here, I'm talking. It's I wonder if they know how much destruction and devastation they're causing. Supporting one of the most racist, diabolical institutions our country has to offer. Holy cow. What a coincidence. Maybe that's why I was so much traffic on Planned Parenthood on the Bluesky Is. So, hey, I don't know why I call it Dobbs. So, overturned Roe v. Wade. So, basically, it's no longer federally protected. Abortion is no longer federally protected. It's up to the states, as it should be. Whether or not you like it, I think it should be banned outright, with obviously exemptions to the mother. Lack of heartbeat, stillborns, stuff like this. Of course, medical intervention is necessary. But there's no reason in my mind that abortions need to be performed at the rate they're being performed at. $700,000 a year? That's tens of millions over a decade. Hopefully it'll go down with the Supreme Court decision. I guarantee you the Colorados, New Yorks, and Californias are just, there's probably abortion tourism in California. Come to California to get your abortion. So, very diabolical. It's one of the worst things our country's offering right now. Well, I can't say our country anymore. The states are offering right now. The leftist states are offering. So hopefully with Trump's second administration, we could see a little bit more restriction, or if anything, just not have taxpayers funding this stuff. If Planned Parenthood is getting $700 million a year in federal and federal funding and taxes, I guarantee a large portion of that is going towards abortion. So hopefully we can get a little bit more aggressive. Hopefully Trump can ban taxpayer-funded abortions. So interesting coincidence. God bless everybody. Be safe. See you on the next one.